our leaders really are inspiring. They're wonderful people. They're quite amazing. Let's give all of them another hand. Laura Paul Felton, Hashikawa Tomahiko, and Michelle Yang. You know, it's always really inspiring to hear firsthand from our New Skin leadership, and they've given us some tremendous insights today. I hope you're thinking about those as the day goes on. But you know, we can also learn by sharing the perspectives of highly successful people from other walks of life. And now we are going to put a little twist on things by turning our attention to the movies. Who loves the movies? We love the movies, yes. We have an incredibly special treat in store for all of you this morning. We are so honored at New Skin to have with us the creative minds behind some of the most successful movies in contemporary cinema. And they're going to share how they get some of their inspiration and how they take their films from their own inspiration to reality. Do you want to learn how they do it and what their creative process feels like and looks like? Yes, I think we can learn a lot from them. Will you help me please welcome the musical mastermind behind Dark Knight, Gladiator, The Lion King, award-winning composer Hans Zimmer, and the Academy Award-winning director of the film Apollo 13, Splash, Melloman, Mr. Ron Howard. Here they are. They never miss an opportunity. See, he was filming you when he came out. Did you see them filming you?
I like what you've done to the place.
Yes, this is pretty fun. There it is. In living color.
Yeah, it is
very
incredible. Well, Hans invited me because he's I don't know if you know. Is it a secret that he's playing tonight?
No, it's not a secret. Everybody's so excited to hear Hans and be recognized here at concert. We had such a great time last
It's a great show. I've seen it several times. You're in for a treat.
So, for the next 40 minutes, I think that we're going to, all of us, let's pretend that we're just right in. Can we just
get back? Nah, that's the worst thing I ever heard.
That's what kids say to their parents, right?
You know, and the thing that I realize is all ideas aren't just, the idea might be good, but I haven't gotten good enough yet to execute.
That's right.
And you need to go and you need to give yourself some time to practice the scales, to practice the piano, to practice the words, to practice how are you going to go and make this work.
How does this idea fulfill itself best?
Yes.
So, you know, is it Wagnerian?
Right.
Is it Irish American?
Yeah.
What is it? You know, the ideas are the same, but how are they expressed? And so that matters with a creative project. But it also matters, you know, in almost every decision that we make in life that's, you know, that's a crossroad.
So yesterday, one of our founders, Sandy Tillotson, told us that she had been accused of being a daydreamer in her life, and she realized that was a good thing.
Right,
that was a great thing. So how do you take those dreams? We have some people with really big visions and really big dreams in this room. So I want you to tell us how you take those moments or the things that you think about or dream about, and how do you take them from just a kernel of an idea, and then what's your process to bring them to reality? How do you make those dreams really happen?
Well, you begin with that idea that you're passionate about. You test it, you think about it, and now it's time to act on it. And now comes craft. This is where the hard work comes, but it's exciting work because you know you're working towards something. You're exploring something. You know, scientists. I learned so much from doing Apollo 13, A Beautiful Mind about science and the way it works, Genius about Albert Einstein, and they work problems, and they're thrilled when they reach a dead end because they can eliminate that, and that doesn't mean they give up working on the project.
Absolutely.
They just keep marching forward. So when craft comes into play, now you begin breaking your idea down into smaller bits. How do I start? What's my outcome? What do I hope to achieve? What can this project mean? What can this story mean? Where are we trying to go? You can ask, by developing and asking smart questions in a kind of a Socratic way, you keep testing your idea, but inevitably you're pushing it forward, but you have to keep acting on it. Right. It has to, I mean, dreams are wonderful. I applaud the dreamers. The world spins on dreams. But you have to begin to really understand it and take it into action.
Well, I think one really vital component is getting collaborators. You know, and I don't know if you do this very early on. I suspect, and we never talked about it, that you do this very early on. As the idea comes, you go, oh well, then this person would be really good, and this person would be really good, and this person would be really good. So you build a family that
One of the things I love about working with you is you're a great artist. I'm going to embarrass you. You're a genius, and he is.
He's wrong.
But he also creates this collaboration around him that is so unbelievably stimulating. Wow. That he's inviting the ideas to be challenged at all times, and it only elevates. I'm going to tell a quick story about collaboration. So I started acting at 4 years old. I began on a television show that was incredibly successful in the United States called The Andy Griffith Show. This began when I was 6 years old.
Opie Taylor.
Many of you won't know what that show was, but I played the sheriff's son in a small town. Andy Griffith. I played Andy Griffith's son, a character named Opie. Well, in the environment around this show was that the actors were allowed to speak up. It wasn't chaos. The writers and the producers and directors ran the show, but there was this open exchange. So all through the first season, I felt it was made to feel so comfortable and so included, even though I was only 6 years old, that I could even offer up a suggestion. Now, they never took any of them, which frankly kind of pissed me off. And I'll never forget, in the second episode of the second season, I was 7 years old, and we were rehearsing, all of us were together, and Andy Griffith, the star of the show and the leader of the show, was in the rehearsal, so was the director, and my job was to come in and say, hey, Paul, and I don't remember exactly what my line was, but I had a line of dialogue. And I sort of stopped, and they said, what is it, Ronnie? And I said, well, I don't think a kid would say it that way. And they said, well, how do you think a kid would say it? And I rephrased it, pitched my new little spin on this scene, and the director said, well, good, why don't you say it that way? And I remember the affirmation,
validation,
and I smiled. And Andy Griffith from across the sheriff's office set said, what are you grinning at, youngin'? He really talked that way. What are you grinning at, youngin'? I said, that's the first idea of mine that you've taken.
Right.
There was a little pause, and he said, well, it was the first one that was any damn good, so let's now rehearse the scene. And I learned that collaboration was an exciting, playful experience, you know?
Actually, which brings me, it's exactly what I see happening constantly when we're working together. It's like I'm surrounded by masterful musicians and technicians, and they're all really good, and they all got really big egos. But they're not mean. I mean, in other words, when I'm saying they have really big egos, that's a good thing, because what they recognize is that the best idea will win. And you know, like everybody throws their idea into the pot, and then somebody comes up with something really extraordinary, and everybody just instantly goes and supports this one idea. And that's how, and we keep moving forward.
But you have this great capacity, sitting at your keyboard, to hear a piece of music that you've written, that they've worked on, seeing it up against the screen, and you're saying, you're the first one to say, no, not good enough.
Yeah.
And in the room, around these artists, around the directors and producers, to suddenly go back and merely play a few, often it's just a couple of notes. It's a little change that really transforms everything. And it's really, again, for somebody who doesn't speak the language, it's always mind-blowing. But just a reminder that sometimes moving a thing just from here to there is the difference between a stale idea that is just like everything else and not going to be special, and something that breaks through and really makes a difference to your audience, your customers.
I hate it and I love it. Sitting there and just saying in front of everybody, I have no idea what to do. And it's amazing because everybody comes to your rescue.
Yes.
And
they're also gifted.
They will give you their best.
So as you're taking these dreams and living into the reality that we've just been talking about, I want everybody to see it in action. So take a look now at some of the most amazing cinematic work. Ron, take a look.
Thank you very much, Houston.
We got a couple of housekeeping procedures for you. We'd like you to roll right to 060 and know your rates.
Roger that. Rolling right, 060.
And then if you could give your oxygen tanks a stir.
Roger that.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem. We have a main bus being underrolled. We've got a lot of thruster activity here, Houston. Just went offline. Oh, there's another master alarm, Houston. I'm checking the quad. There's no refresh back. We've got a computer restart.
I'm going to reconfigure the RCS.
We've got a baseline fire. We've got multiple caution warning, Houston. We've got to reset and restart.
All right, I'm going to SPS.
And you know what, you're up against real history, so you've really got to bring everybody to that moment that really happened in our history.
Well, thank you. It was an honor to tell that story, and the research was changed my life in a lot of ways, because I learned so much about NASA and that idea of the best idea wins, which is how they saved their lives. Was an immediate, all hands on deck problem solving. But I also, as a filmmaker, learned something. That, remember I talked about if you move something over just 1% or 2%, it just elevates things? Well, we were trying to figure out how to do the weightlessness in an authentic way. We experimented with wires, we did all kinds of things. And Steven Spielberg, it's nice to have talented, brilliant friends, said to me, you know, they used to train by locking down a capsule in an airplane and doing these parabolas that would create weightlessness, and then they would practice being weightless. So then I went to Jim Lovell, the real Jim Lovell, and I asked him about it. He said, oh yeah, that's the KC-135. We call it the vomit comet. Because you just about can't do it without throwing up. But it works. He got us permission to film in the KC-135 by locking down the capsule and letting the actors be weightless. And I'm telling you, the authenticity of that informed everything. Even the shots that we did that weren't in the vomit comet, that weren't actually weightless, the actors acting, they had a sense of it. And it gave the whole movie authenticity, but it also gave us some great thrills. I remember we took this cocktail, it's called Scope Dex, dexedrine and scopolamine, to help keep from getting sick up there. But one day, Bill Paxton, who was the one we saw there, the late great Bill Paxton, tumbling around weightless. That was a shot done on the airplane, you know, doing the parabola where it would be weightless for 22 seconds at a time.
Gotta get the shots, yeah.
The shots. One time, he came up to me after a take, and I was out there weightless also, but it was very confusing, very chaotic, and he came up to me and he said, hey dude, I was the director, but he called me dude. Hey dude, he said, the camera guy just hurled on my head. It puked all over him. And I thought, oh no, now we're gonna have to land and clean up. He just grabbed a towel wiped it off, and he said, "Let's go again." And the actors so rose to the occasion of doing this very adventuresome thing, but it really informed me.
I love that you're talking about authenticity, because as we...
Oh, I have to say one more thing.
Say one more thing.
I then later saw Spielberg, and he said, "Well, how did you do the weightlessness?" And I said, "Well, I followed your idea. We went up, we did the camera." I said, "You're kidding." He said, I was just throwing that out there. I didn't think you'd be crazy enough to do it.
Look, he acted on his dream. You made your dream reality. I listened to both Ron and Hans have a master class online that you can kind of dive a little deeper and hear about their processes. And I wanted to learn a little bit more about them before I was able to interview them. And I was really struck by, you just had mentioned it a minute ago, but the amount of work that you got your dream, but a dream doesn't materialize without, and I was so impressed by the power of a storyboard, the power of ideas, the power of breaking it down shot by shot by shot. That sometimes you spend all day just getting ready for one shot because it moves the needle, like you say. So there's work to get that dream to reality.
Well, we share this in what we do on films, and it always comes down to a kind of a dream and a question, right? So you look at a scene, or you have an idea for a scene, and you sort of say, I think I know what we want. How do we get it? And it's a lot of moving parts. And you look at a scene, and you say,
what am I trying to say?
Yeah.
Plus, I try to, look, the better the filmmaker you work with, the harder my job gets. Because the better the filmmaker, he's already very articulate about his story. He's got the best VP, so visually he manages to tell the story. The actors can tell the story. So what part is left for me? I mean, I remember, I think one of my favorite projects we did together was Frost Nixon, where ostensibly Ron and the writer, Peter Morgan, our friend Peter, came in for about 2 weeks, I think, beforehand, where we were supposed to talk about the songs, since it was the 70s, you know.
Yeah.
And we actually never talked about the songs. And the way I remember it was, we talked our way through the script, through the story, from a musical perspective. And I would go, well, hang on a second, if you got a shot like that, I could do something like that. And then the dailies started turning up. And
well, you're being a little bit kind, because my little dream, my idea was we need songs. It's the 70s, we need to sell the idea of the 70s. Let's have songs. You were amenable to the idea, but as we started talking about it and considering songs, and I started talking about the story, and you started asking questions. What is this scene really supposed to be? What are you trying to convey? What else can it be? And the what else is the most important question. What more? What else is there really? What are we overlooking? And I began to see that there was something else that could be more psychologically connected to those characters, and the heartbeat of those characters, and the emotion of those characters, and that songs would work in opposition to that. And I was slow to come around to that, but I was so grateful that I was finally...
I thought I could get away with like 2 minutes of score, and the rest was songs, you know.
Yeah, no.
Didn't
but
work.
in your masterclass, I love that you say that music, generally music, can evoke feelings from a person. But scoring a movie is different, because you have to have the right note with the right picture at the right time.
Sort of. I think of it like, I think of it like this. I think the worst thing you can do is manipulate people. I think that's a hideous thing to do. So
that's like, you're right, it's like putting one over on someone.
Yeah.
You might convince them for a moment, but long term it'll never...
We're back to collaboration, right?
Making them cry for, you know, that's like, you know. So, do you really want to know? I mean, I'll tell you. So what I try to do is, I try to pretend what I do is doors. I'm going to go and open this door and let you walk through and give you the possibility to have an emotional experience. I'm not going to tell you what the emotional experience is, but the door opens and lets you in and gives, because most of our life, you know, we try to sort of clamp down on having an emotional experience, because it doesn't really work with, going through life as a dreamer. Most people can't. So I'm giving you that. And then secondly, you ready? Okay, it's a lengthy story. When I was a teenager, when I just left school, I was in a band, and we would play every working men's club in England, and it was grim up north. People were poor, and I remember just seeing this woman, in her grey raincoat on a grey day, and she's got these two horrible kids that are just like tugging at her, and she has no husband.
And even in this, are you hearing music in your mind? Does music always paint?
Well, partly, but what happens is that I realized that at the weekend she had a choice. She could go to the pub, spend her money, or she could come to one of our movies and get an experience, and we better delivered an experience for her because she worked hard. There was more at stake than just being glamorous and doing a movie. It was, it wasn't about the red carpet and the premiere. It was about, and I gave her name, Doris and Bradford. Doris and Bradford going to the movies, and I'm writing, to this day, I'm writing for her, and I check, would Doris and Bradford be moved by this? Would this be honest?
It's so important what he's saying.
It comes down to people, right?
Well, it does.
Human connection.
The reality is, look, we talk about what we do, and it often sounds kind of high and mighty, as though, we know what we want, and you either like it or you don't like it. And that's not really what makes what we do matter. What makes what we do matter is when it's communication, and communication that lands. And in order for the communication to be really pure and honest, it does have to come from your heart and your mind and your sense of right and wrong and all of those things. But it is a communication, and we have customers too. Absolutely. And we're not crass about it. We're trying to connect to their minds and hearts. It's not, but it is transactional. We are sharing something of ourselves, and we do hope that our viewers, are our customers, and will appreciate, what we have to offer.
When we talk about that, it's capturing hearts and minds. It's making a human connection. That really is such a game changer. All right, should we look at another movie clip? Because it takes a village to put them on, but let's take a scene that had a lot of great collaboration to put it through. The Formula One racers of Rush. Take a look.
I'm the director, Hans.
To look at it from the musical score and the sound engineers and the shots you take. Just I've been a little bit more attuned to it, and really the layers are almost numberless.
Well, this was a pivotal moment, a little bit like in Apollo 13, you know, when the tanks blew. This is Niki Lauda's epic crash that nearly killed him, and yet it's a crash that he recovered from and made this heroic comeback. We lost Niki this last year, so it's very emotional for me to watch that, actually. But we became friends. But this sequence was so vitally important to the movie, and it went through an unbelievable period of transformation. Musically, editorially, there was an exchange of ideas. When I watch it, Dan Hanley and Mike Hill won a BAFTA for editing this. The ideas kept shifting. So we had the dream, we want to recreate this crash in the most authentic way. That was the beginning of the dream.
Again, you're going up against history, you've got to do it by pressure, right? And make it relevant.
Well, then how do you get into the character's mind? How do you get into his heart and soul? And that's what evolved. And musically, you got the idea of the voices. And when he had the idea of the voices, that led us to think, well, then we should go into a more dreamlike idea that's anticipating the crash, that suggests that somehow in this moment, right before this happens, something is wrong. Something, you know, history is going to change the direction of this man's life. And it led to this. I can't tell you how much this sequence transformed from the time we shot it through the time we released the movie with all the same materials.
Yeah.
It was that process of keep moving it an inch here and an inch there.
I think we worked on. I think we worked on this for half a year.
Yes, we did. We did.
You know, and there was. I mean, to me, I know it was the same for you, because Niki Lauda was around. It felt very important to be honest and be honorable. I mean, you know. I don't know if you know. I mean, looking at the Apollo films now. Today we lost. He was a great friend of mine, Alexei Levanov, who was the first man to walk in space.
Yes.
Who was like Niki. I mean, they were very similar. Real character, amazing sense of humor, crazy, fearless beyond anything, and at the same time, Superman.
It sounds like with this scene that we just saw, you employed the what else question again and again, which I think is a lesson for everyone in this room. What else? What next? What more?
How can we be better? How can this maximize itself? And you know, you can't go on forever. You have to collaborate, and you eventually have to lead.
Our new skin partners in this room collaborate like you can't believe. They collaborate across borders and within their own households and families. They're pretty good, but we can't say enough about the power of how many different ideas and collaborators it takes to really find success. And it sounds like you're exactly the same.
But don't you think it's you guys do what we guys do in a way. You have a story that you want to tell. Right? And it doesn't matter if it's about or if it's about cars or whatever it is. This is the story you're going to dedicate your life to telling. And I don't know, we have talked about this. I remember you came to me after Frost Nixon to give me a big fatherly talk about how I should take a break and, you know, I should slow down and all this stuff. And I think it ended with me going, why are you in Los Angeles then? Because you couldn't stop by, right? This idea that we are on a mission, our mission is we're trying to tell this story now, we're trying to do this. And in a peculiar way, everything is personal.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Yes. And every story can matter. It doesn't matter the tone, it doesn't matter the genre. It can be a silly Saturday morning cartoon, or it could be the most serious drama. But the ideas that get expressed, the themes that get expressed, they can matter. You never know when a story is going to matter. One time our family was having a kind of a fight when my kids were teenagers. There was one of those ugly moments where just no one was communicating well. There just happened to be a rerun of an old, silly situation comedy on TV. And the dumbest kind of, middle-of-the-road show as you can imagine. But you know what?
Life. and that's parenthood. I mean, you know that is one thing that constantly comes.
Right. We're running out of time, but I wanted to show another clip because this clip is one of my favorites. Let's run this next one and talk about creating our own masterwork.
It is time.
It's so fun to see. And you know what, to your point, it's an animated film, and yet the lessons, that movie is replete with life lessons. It's just amazing. So when we, as humans, are doing whatever, whatever line of work or whatever we're doing in our life, we want what we do to matter, right? How do we do that?
Well, I got three tiny things to tell you about this. I didn't want to do this film. I didn't want to do a cartoon. But I had a, at the time, 6-year-old daughter, and as all dads, maybe not you, I wanted to show off to my daughter, and I could never take her to
That's not a bad reason.
I never could take her to like you know, a Tony Scott bloodbath. I mean, so that wasn't the premiere I could take my daughter to. So I said, okay, I'll do this, but it's definitely not going to be a musical because I hate musicals. They go, no, we guarantee you it'll never be a musical. All right, so we did this, and as I started working on it, I suddenly realized it wasn't just frivolous. It was about the death of a father. And my father had died when I was 6 years old, and I don't think it's whatever a psychologist will tell you. Children do not know how to cope with the death of a father. They know how to lock it away, and they know how to pretend. So for the first time, I had to actually go and confront what had happened to me and write truly. I mean, this is a very serious score. You know, I wrote truly from a painful experience. And then when we redid it just recently, it was, you know, we had a royal premiere with Prince Harry, etc. So it was the hottest ticket in town, and Disney sent me over 8 tickets, and I sent 6 of those tickets back. I just kept 2, and I just took my daughter. It was just a father-daughter date, because that's what
that matters the most. Yeah, thank you for sharing that personal story with us.
And actually, just one other thing. Tonight, the band you're going to see is that every single one of them has played on the line. So you're seeing the real thing.
To answer your question, you know, we keep coming back to collaboration. And while we, you know, we sort of hold ourselves up as artists with an individual point of view, the execution of it, the realization of the dream always depends on a lot of people, but sometimes I learned early on in my directing career that you had to earn that. It wasn't always given to you, that respect, that spirit of collaboration. Early in my life, I was 25 years old. I was directing, it was my third film, and it starred a screen legend, Betty Davis, was the star of this television.
Legend.
And at this point, she was like 75 years old, still smoking those filterless Camels, and probably still pounding a few drinks at night, but a real pro. And she did not like that this young guy from television was directing. She liked her part. She wanted to do the movie, but she just did not trust me and did not really respect me. I was talking to her on the phone and, you know, discussing some things and some differences of opinion, you know, about things she wanted and things that I wanted, and sort of negotiating these things. And finally, she said, "All right, Mr. Howard, well, I guess I'll see you on the set." And I said, "Well, by the way, Miss Davis, please feel free to call me Ron." And she said, "No, I won't call you Mr. Howard until I decide whether I like you or not," and slammed the phone down. So, I don't know what to do. I went to my father's, a long-time actor and character actor, and he said, "Well, all the great actors, they need to be led, they need to be directed. Don't be afraid, you do have to lead. It's great to listen to her, but you have to have that courage." So, first day of filming, I go up to give her a direction, and she bursts out laughing in front of the entire crew. She goes, "Ha ha ha ha!" I don't know if you know Betty Davis, but she had this big laugh. "Ha ha ha ha!" And she said, "Oh, I saw this child walking up to me, and I just had to wonder, what if any consequence could this child have to say to me?" Ha 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 ha! So the whole crew heard, and I went ha 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 too, and gave her the direction, and I went back and started popping tongues. We went through the day, and I just kept working. And finally, at one point, I gave her a direction. I said, "I think you should leave the scene here and turn there." And I was very, very specific and very strong about it. And she said, "I'll try it. I don't agree, but I'll try it." She did it. And halfway through it, she said, "You're right. That works. I'll do it that way." And I did it that way. And I went through the rest of the day. And at the end of the day, I said, "Well, Miss Davis, thank you. Great day. I'll see you tomorrow." And she said, "Okay, Ron, see you tomorrow." And she patted me on the ass. And so I had earned a relationship that day and to collaborate with one of the great giants, Betty Davis. But I realized that sometimes it takes tenacity, and you have to be fearless about your engagement, and don't let intimidation stop you from the dream.
Absolutely. Don't let intimidation, don't let fear ever stop you, right? Well, we talked a little bit about dreaming big, about how to make that dream become a reality and bring it to life, on the importance of collaboration. That's certainly been threaded through this entire discussion, and how to really create a masterwork. And I really want to end on that. You've had these incredible careers. And if you could just share and impart a little of your wisdom from the years that you've spent in your respective careers about the importance of creating that masterwork, we'd love that.
Okay, I'll start. You know, it's really the sum total of all that we've been talking about today. And it is having the idea, it's sharing the idea, it's having the courage to move forward and execute, to recognize mistakes, backtrack, and carry on. And make the tough decisions at various turning points. And you don't know whether you're going to make a masterpiece. That's the bottom line. I think you have to be engaged in the project that whatever it is that you believe in, because of the process. Because you love it, because you believe in it, and you think this is what you want to do with your time on the planet. And I think if you're diligent, I think if you're passionate, I think if you're pure, some of the work you're going to do is going to be remarkable, and people are going to notice it, and it will matter to you and to others. And that's the hope. Sometimes it won't, but hopefully the ones that people remember are the moments where things.
Maybe it's the sum total, like you said, and it's when you look back over your shoulder that you say, "That worked."
Yeah.
Hans.
Well, to be really honest, I just don't know what else to do. This is what I do. This is what always interested me. This is what, honestly, you do not want to employ me in any other capacity because it will be a disaster. So, no, but it is ultimately this. It is how do we spend the seconds of our life taking away? We can either spend them in conversation, which is what he and I do frequently in the conversation. It's how can we create something? How can we make something better? How can we tell a story and have in a surprising way? You know, how can we create? I want to have the experience that I then share with other people. Blended experience. Again, you know, Doris is vital to me.
Absolutely.
You know, and the honor that I have, the great thing that the two of us sit around and we talk about how we're going to go and crack this storytelling puzzle. Because once we crack the storytelling puzzle, it will mean something to everybody. And to just,
we have
for a
learned
moment,
so much from you. We've learned to dream. We've learned to work really hard. And we're all going to ask, what else? What more? How different? Can I move this just a little bit? Reminding us of better storytellers and how to ignite our dreams. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's take a quick selfie right here.
All right.
Everybody, before you know that, founders, we've got a little surprise.
Oh.
Do you have something like I think you know? Come on, you taught us today. They are dreamers, they're hard workers, they have brought their dreams to reality. We're our founders, and Intelligent, Blake Cromie, and Steve Lund.